Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel. I appreciate you coming back for another episode. This is episode number 20, and you may recall back in episode number 19 and maybe even in 18, the episodes that we actually recorded during this particular game day number 6, representing the season of late summer. You know that I was keeping a very watchful eye on the weather reports, and the weather reports were showing some kind of moisture, snow, rain, whatever this is, for late July here in Colorado. Oh, look, there's Billy Bob bringing in the last bit. We just barely got that field before the rain hit, or snow, whatever this is anyways. And so he is bringing that last bit in and putting that in the silo. And we're pretty much grounded. I mean, if we were in the aviation business, this would pretty much have us grounded. So the good news is that the outlook is looking very good. We've got bright sunshine coming, and so we pretty much just need to say goodbye to game day number 6 in late summer and prepare ourselves for game day number 7 and what will become early autumn. So, I'm just going to try to run over there very quickly and get in the house. The wife has got some nice hot soup on the stove for us, and the boys will be coming in for dinner here in just a few minutes, and we're going to go ahead and just call this game day a day and proceed to the next game day. So we're going to go in and have a bite to eat, get some shut-eye, and get a start tomorrow morning on early autumn. So we'll see you then. Well, good morning to you and welcome back to game day 7, early autumn, and looks like our chickens have been busy producing eggs, so we will just get them all scooped up there. Not sure why I can't back up off of that egg crate. Am I stuck? Don't tell me I'm stuck on the egg crate. There we go. Nope. There we go. Boy, it's tough to get stuck there in the egg crate. Not sure what was going on there. Maybe I had a small glitch with my controls. So in any event, we've got our eggs, and it is a beautiful day. It is early autumn, and we were going to get a much earlier start today, but unfortunately due to that rain that we had and the snow that we had yesterday in late summer, we had a very thick cloud that settled over the valley here. Of course, we're in Goldcrest Valley, so one would expect that kind of weather behavior. And so went ahead and just basically told the boys to come around a little bit after 8. And so, yeah, everybody's busy doing their thing. We're going to go down and start our fall harvest, because, well, that is what you do on the farm in the fall, right? And so we've got soybeans. We've got quite a few fields of soybeans that we want to that we actually need to harvest. Before we do that, though, I do need to go up here and check on this grass field, because this grass field hopefully is going to be ready today. If not this game day in early autumn, then hopefully it will be, and it looks like it is ready. Let's just hop out and go over there and look at that together. Yeah, I think that's about as good as we're going to get as far as grass height is concerned. So yeah, that looks pretty good. Excuse me. So I think with that field, I think that will give us plenty of both grass, which will bale, as well as hay. So not sure how we'll split it up right now. I'm sort of thinking that the best course of action will be just to first of all just to mow it. That'll be the first thing. and then probably tether at least 50% of it. So pick the halfway point in the field, somewhere about right here or so. Tether everything from the right side to the middle. Actually, maybe about 3/4, because we need more hay. Because what we're going to do is, obviously, we're going to pad our silage, our total mixed rations. We'll pad our total mixed rations with 1 bale of straw, and then we'll use 1 portion of silage, which is essentially 4,000 liters, and then 8,000 liters of hay. So we will be obviously using twice the amount of hay that we need for then grass then straw and silage. So I think we'll go 3/4 of this field, tether it, and then rake that, and then start baling it and see how many bales we get off of it. Start tethering that and see how many bales we get off of it, and then if that looks sufficient, which I think it should, then we will go ahead and rake the remaining portion of the grass and bale that grass and put that grass in storage, and just go from there. So let's head on down, because the boys have been busy this morning positioning some equipment for us. You know, we like for that to happen. So myself and Billy Bob are going to take care of this soybean field. I'm going to drive the harvester, and Billy Bob's going to run the tractor and tipper for me. And Jim Bob and Stan are doing other chores on the farm. I'll just park under the shade tree here, you know, as one does. And so we will get started here in the combine. This is, of course, our Case 9230. Lift up the header and back this up slowly. It's a bit of an incline. All right, let's take advantage of GPS here for us. Might as well. We've got the technology, we might as well use it. That looks pretty good right there, I believe. And we'll go ahead and do that. And we will turn ourselves on here and proceed. And we're off. The fall harvest. Love this time of year. You know, they say that one's favorite time of year is typically around their birthday. And my birthday is in October. And it makes sense. I don't know about you, and if that relates the same way. But yeah, the fall is my favorite time of the year. Living here in Colorado, much like Goldcrest Valley, it's the fall is usually when the weather starts to break. You know, in Denver, and I live in the Mile High City. I live in Denver proper. Live on the outskirts in a part of town referred to as the Denver Tech Center, and that, by the way, is also where I work. My commute is literally less than 5 minutes door to door. That includes usually driving up to the 3rd level in the parking garage at work. And actually, I can get to work quicker on like a snow day than I can on a day, say in July, like in September or in May. There is a relatively large high school that is. Oops! I almost forgot about my turn there. Almost forgot about my turn. Anyway, there is a relatively large high school that is nearby, and so in the when high school is in session for the school district that the school represents, traffic in the Denver Tech Center area can be quite busy, especially in the mornings and of course in the afternoons. Well, and around lunchtime as well. So I guess you got a couple of hours in the morning and a couple of hours in the afternoon where traffic isn't too bad. But anyway, long story short on this, I can get to work on a snow day quicker because there's basically less people, less traffic. A lot of people work from home when it's really bad weather like that, and so the commute is not too bad. But anyway, fall is generally that time when, like I said, the weather starts to break, and it is just, not that because I grew up in Texas, so I know what summer really truly is like. So if any of you that are watching my channel, thanks for watching, thanks for liking, please subscribe. If any of you guys are from the South or maybe even the Southwest or areas where you do truly get a summer type weather type pattern, then I feel your pain, brothers and sisters. I really do. I know what it's like. I've lived in Colorado for 18 years. I celebrated my 18th year living here in Colorado, and I moved out here towards the end of October in 1998, and yeah, celebrated my 18th year. So anyway, 18th year. So let me just kind of keep an eye on my capacity there, because I want to make sure that he empties me on the correct side. Anyway, so we don't have those dog days of summer like some of you folks do, and I may complain, I may say, oh man, it was a hot one today, when we have 90 something degrees. Maybe the humidity is a little high because we had some rain, if God blessed us with any, but I truly know that it can be certainly a lot worse, and I appreciate that. I do. Likewise, we have winter weather here where you folks in the South, it can get cold, and it can actually, it can be, I have felt colder. Now, just last week, as a point of reference, here in Colorado, we had, it was minus 7 when I went to work on Thursday morning. When I drove to work on Thursday morning, backed out of my garage, by the time I got to the office, 5 minutes or so, my car thermometer was showing minus 7 degrees. That's Fahrenheit, by the way. And so it can definitely be cold here. We had snow on the ground. We had a couple of inches of snow on Tuesday night into Wednesday, and then somewhat throughout Wednesday morning or so. We had snow. Had a couple of inches, and we've got some really cold weather coming. We've got more cold weather coming. Not sure if we're going to have a white Christmas. Obviously, you're watching this about a week. Let's see. When will you watch this? You'll watch this about 10 days before Christmas or so. And so not sure if we're going to get a white Christmas or not. Would love to have that, but you know, just not sure if that's going to be the case. And so yeah, Billy Bob is coming over, and we will go ahead and let our pipe out for him. And so, which by the way, I think I'm not 100% certain on this, but somebody mentioned in a forum, I think it maybe was the Farm Simulator official Giants forums, that Courseplay now, unless the combine is full, Courseplay will empty on the harvested side, you know, like we are here. So I don't know. I don't know if that's actual fact, or because that would be cool. And of course, if the combine's full, then you know, I guess combine's got, or you know, the Courseplay's got to do what they've got to do. Now, I'm certainly seeing some behavior that I didn't see or I didn't notice with Courseplay for Farm Sim 15. That periodic start stop that we were just witnessing. And I think it has to do, and I'm not an expert on these things, okay? But I think it has to do with the collision zones around the equipment, the difference with Farm Sim 17 versus Farm Sim 15, collision zones around the equipment. I was harvesting a crop off camera just a couple of days ago, a couple of real life days ago, and was testing out Courseplay with it. And the behavior that I was seeing, and I had regular hire a worker through 17 running the combine, and I had Courseplay running the tractor tipper like we have now. But I was not controlling the combine. The AI was controlling it, and I was doing some other things on the farm, kind of setting up for this game day before the rain hit. And I think I was cleaning the animals and stuff like that. And so I noticed that I would get the message on the screen that said that, you know, hired worker blah 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 was stuck in traffic. And so I would go over there to the combine, to the tractor tipper, and it would be attempting to empty. The tractor tipper would be attempting to empty the combine, and everything would be lined up just fine. He would be under the pipe and all proceeding in the same direction, but yet everything was stopped, and it was saying he was stuck in traffic. And I've heard other people talk about this as well, about the collision zones. And so I'm thinking that maybe Giants has configured Farm Sim 17 where the collision zones are a little bit wider, maybe around the vehicles, and maybe that's causing some slight challenges with Courseplay. Now, Courseplay obviously is still very much in beta. Even though you're going to see this episode probably 5 days after I recorded it, Courseplay will still be in beta. I think Courseplay will be in beta until sometime in 2017, even. Just sort of the way it is, folks. There's just a lot to do, and you know, these guys have lives outside of Courseplay and Farm Sim and all that kind of stuff. So, but this is a updated version of Courseplay, because if you pay attention to the GitHub website and stuff, you'll notice that they're making changes and updates to the Courseplay version quite frequently. And so this version that I'm on right now is a newer version by probably several additions from what I had been testing with before that and having those collision problems. So hopefully hopefully that has been addressed. But you know, if you truly understand what beta means, and you're okay with some challenges, then you know I suggest that you install Courseplay and use it. You can get the link to Courseplay on my mod list. Just go to grizzlybearsims.com and look in the upper portion of the page of the blog site, and you'll see a link for add-ons and mod directory or something like that. And just click on that, and you'll find the link to download Courseplay. But just keep in mind that it's beta. It's beta. I was listening to another YouTuber a few days ago who was essentially advising people to stay away from Courseplay beta because it was so problematic, and he had so many problems. And I don't think he was using the official Courseplay version of Courseplay. I think he was using that. I think he was using the unauthorized version, which, you know, caused problems and crashed a lot of people's games early on, because, you know, that thing came out, that unauthorized version of Courseplay came out probably within 2 weeks or so of FarmSim 17's release. And yeah, so all right, and we're off again. There we go. So let's see, what were we talking about? One more thing, or a thought with Courseplay. You know, I've said this a few times on my channel that I had read. This series is slipping. Let's see if he can sort himself out. He's probably trying to drive up that mountainous hill. There he goes. You know, what is he doing? Billy Bob. I mean, really, bud. All right, we're gonna have to sort him out for sure. So we are going to stop. And let's see. Bring up the HUD here so I can stop him, because he is just causing all sorts of problems. In the real life, he would have spilt all these soybeans, and I would have been so angry at him. All right, nearest waypoint. Okay, he's gonna stay there until we get. He's gonna stay there until we reach our fill point. Are we still? All right, let's go again. So remember, I had said that I had read that the developer, the mod author of Auto Combine, basically took a look at his Auto Combine mod for Farming Sim 15 in an effort to try to convert it over or do whatever level of magic that these guys have to do to get the mod to work, you know, that work almost flawlessly, perfectly in 15 to work in 17. And at the time, and this was several weeks ago, at the time he had pretty much just pushed Auto Combine and maybe even Auto Tractor. I'm not as in love with Auto Tractor as I am with Auto Combine, just simply because I think that from the Combine perspective, Auto Combine is better than courseplay, especially with odd-shaped fields. Okay, so irregular shaped fields, or maybe some that prefer that type of farming would say more natural fields. So basically putting a field wherever you can make it fit. So like a British style farm map or whatever. Auto Combine does a better job for that. Auto Tractor, I tried it, but again, it's sort of like, I think I can do a better job with courseplay, and that's what I always use. And even on one of my favorite British style maps, Coldborough Park Farm, Auto Combine would always work better on those fields than courseplay, and courseplay always, in my experience, in my opinion, worked better than Auto Tractor. Now your mileage may vary, and great, but anyway, the mod author of Auto Combine had said that he basically, because of the differences between FarmSim 15 and FarmSim 17 with the relation of how mods would control equipment, he basically gave up, I think, pushed it to the back burner. Maybe giving up on it is an incorrect way of describing it, but he essentially pushed the project aside. What I read was he was going to wait to see how courseplay, the real courseplay, the courseplay that I'm running right now, which again I say is in beta, he was going to see how courseplay would handle the situation, and maybe then take a look at Auto Combine at that point in time. Now, whether or not he's had an opportunity to do that, or whether or not he has more just given up, I don't know. To be honest, I've not had time to really go out and look up and read and see where we are. I know that like Mike Reefy 1952, I know that he follows this stuff a little bit closer. Maybe he's heard something, he's read something. So Mike, feel free to chime in and post an update if you know something. I think it would be cool, while I support the idea of anybody developing a mod, as long as it's stable and as long as they support it, and will continue to support and develop it, because obviously a mod that's created today that works with version 1.3.1 of FarmSim 17 may have a problem with 1.3.2 or 1.3.5 or 1.4. Whatever down the road. So it's important for these mod authors, developers, that if they're going to create a mod, and if it works really well and it becomes a popular mod, that they need to support that. They need to support that throughout the life of the version of FarmSim that they have developed that for. And things work fine today, but if Giants releases an update, a patch, it could all come crashing down tomorrow, as far as some of these mods go. And we've seen that. We've seen that with 17. We've seen where mods have worked just fine with, say, 1.3.0, if that was actually a version number, and then they sort of temporarily broke with 1.3.1, and then the developer, the author of the mod or whatever, patched it and got it working again. So, but anyway, I guess long story short on this subject, it would be nice if courseplay, especially if the developer behind Auto Combine is either unable to make it work, or just sort of maybe giving up on the idea, that perhaps, just perhaps, the courseplay guys could sort of revamp the functionality, the Combine functionality, with how the Combines work in courseplay, to and I'm going to grab a thumbnail here, obviously, there we go, to sort of bring in some of that functionality that worked really well with Auto Combine. So for example, one of the reasons why most people enjoy Auto Combine or like Auto Combine over, as an example, the just regular hire a worker, is it'll harvest in a circle, and they like that, and I did that method on Paradise Hills on several of the fields, because maybe I didn't have as much real estate, and also with 15, because 15 would kind of just Courseplay for 15 would just kind of send the vehicle out to the combine regardless of which side the pipe was on, and so it was kind of a way to determine, or to sort of always make sure that the pipe was on the outside, or the tractor tipper or whatever was on the outside. But then also I think that excuse me, I think that Auto Combine certainly did a better job, and certainly more thorough job, of harvesting the crop, because it had those, it had the laser, the laser lines coming out of the header, which that sort of detected where the crop was, and it would, the combine, the automated AI operating the combine, would adjust his or her route based on where it was sensing the crop. And with Courseplay, if you set up a combine course, and obviously that's all that we can do right now, is it just doesn't work as thoroughly. So those are just my thoughts. It would be nice if maybe they would choose to revamp that. I think all the other features in Courseplay, as far as the tractor tipper, fertilizing, seeding, cultivating, plowing, all of those things I think work pretty well. They worked well in 15, and I think they work for the most part. I think most of the features and those functionality, that functionality works fine in 17, the 17 version, and of course will only get better. But yeah, I think that would be of help to modify that. But who knows? I mean, maybe in time. I think we just all have to be, and I know it's hard, it's difficult for me as well, to practice patience. I was really, really excited and sort of looking forward to Courseplay, because for those of us that enjoy recording our gameplay, Courseplay really helps with our storylines and stuff like that, because if it weren't for Courseplay, yeah, I could hire a worker for this guy for the combine work and drive the tractor tipper, but that would pretty much always mean that I was driving the combine, and or I would have to stop and start and what have you. Well, with Courseplay, obviously you can do a lot more, and of course you can sort of go crazy with Courseplay, and you can allow Courseplay to control everything on your farm if that's what you want to do. There's no right or wrong way to do any of this. No right or wrong way to do it at all. Alright, he's at about 58 So and we are at 40%, so we're not, probably won't need him because this last little strip here is not going to amount to much at all. And it's even questionable as to whether or not it's actually even worth driving the combine the length of the field to get it, but we will go ahead and do that because waste not, want not, right? And the theme of today is going to be soybeans. That's we've got 3 fields of soybeans to harvest. Of course, some of that will be done off camera, most likely. So lots of stuff going on as far as you know, news and things happening with centered around Farm 17. The very first map that has come out for console just was released today. This is Saturday morning in real time, the 10th of December, and again you're going to see this on, I believe, the 14th. I am about 3 or 4 days or so ahead of schedule with my gameplay and my recording and stuff. Oops. And so obviously Chellington for Farm Sim 17 came out just yesterday, actually, Friday the 9th. Chellington for Farm Sim 17 came out for PC and console. Now, of course, I don't have a console, so I have no way of verifying that, but I've read in the forums enough of comments and some little bugs, some quirks, some challenges, etc. Oh, I guess that's probably some remnants of maybe barley or something that's left behind. Let's go ahead and go and empty us into him. Anyway, so Chellington for Farm Sim 17 was released on Friday the 9th. And of course, like I said, I don't have a way of verifying, and I don't even know how you console guys get mods, get the add-ons and mods for the console platform. I'm assuming you have some sort of directory or site that you can connect to get them. I know it's not the same way that we do as far as downloading them and installing them. But of course, Chellington 17 is on the Mod Hub for UPC guys, so you can get that map through the game. The one thing I have found with Mod Hub is that I like that feature because it's very similar to the Giants Workshop for SCS for like ATS and ETS2. Sort of very similar. One feature that I like about the Steam Workshop, not the Giants Workshop, but the Steam Workshop. The thing that I like about the Steam Workshop, and I don't know, maybe you guys feel the same way that I do, is that sometimes, like say for example during lunch at work, I may actually have a few minutes to peruse some of the forums, some of the sites on either some forums or some Steam discussions, stuff like that. And the cool thing about the Steam Workshop for both Euro Truck and American Truck Simulator is the fact that if you see a mod that you like, you can select it you know, it'll auto-magically, it's my favorite word, it'll auto-magically download that mod to your game the next time that you fire up your PC. That would kind of be cool with 17, is if you could, you know, if you could log in to the mod hub, browse things, and you're eating your sandwich, and you know, instead of reading the doom and gloom in the news that occupy much of news sites and stuff, you'd actually peruse through the mod hub lists of things, and you see something, oh, I like that, you know, I think I'll like that mod, and you could click on it, and it would download that for you. Yeah, as you can tell, our fertilize, I think that was Stan, unfortunately got a little bit overzealous with his driving and ran through the soybean crop there. He apologized. He said he was sorry, and I believe him. So yeah. But yeah. So Chellington is out, and that's the wrong button. There we go. So Chellington is out, and that's a cool thing. And it's out for console, which is another cool thing for you console guys. And we're about 15 minutes to the end of our episode. So what we're going to do is I'm going to lower this header. I'm going to turn him off, and we're going to just kind of teleport over to this guy. And I think what we will do is we will stop him, and we will clear out this course, and we will go ahead and just in case you are, you know, you haven't used course play, I will just kind of show you how to set up a course, kind of quick and dirty here. Well, it's not too dirty, and it's not too quick, but you know, just show you how to set up a tractor tipper course to unload your combine for you, if you're interested in seeing that. So obviously we've got soybeans in our trailer here because we didn't have enough off that field to cause this guy to need to go back to the farm. So let's see how we want to do this. I parked that combine in the way, I think. So let me just kind of I need to turn this camera just a bit so I can see. Sorry about that. Let me just get out and move this guy out of the way, because we're going to need him out of the way for this. That should be fine. And we'll jump out, get back in our Valtra, and let's just kind of, I just want to survey things here. Can probably go out that way. This is typically, you want to look for a nice wide area on this, either on the side of the field, or another option would be this. So what we'll do is yeah, we're gonna go to plan B, which actually might be plan C now, just for my liking, and this is just my liking. I like to have a little bit more space on the side of the field, between the field and any sort of obstacles that might be trees. And so one thing that you can do, and I'm sorry I'm kind of jumping around here and I do apologize, but I kind of want to share this with anyone that might want to know. So We'll just fire our combine up here, and we'll just go through and we'll harvest this one row, which this may not be the ideal situation. The ideal situation was the way that we had things set up in field number 26, because we actually had a road that went in alongside field 26 that sort of separated, and there was a green pathway or grass path between the road and field 26. This one, with the proximity of the trees, again, this is my liking. You could do it. It would probably work out okay, but I have found that if there's not a lot of space between the field and like obstacles like these trees, that sometimes the course play course, they'll have problems. And I know things are a little bit better. Things are obviously better with AI, with 17. But still, I really think that if there's a tree, or if there's a rock, or if there's some other obstacle in sight, these guys are going to find that. So let me just leave this guy here. We're going to go back to the Valtra right quick. And again, I do apologize for sort of teleporting around. I try to limit that. But I want to show you guys this. So here's how I would lay this particular field out for course play. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up, and I'm going to get to about the middle of the field, and then we're going to bring up our course play dialog here, and we're going to start. We're in the combine, empty combine and offload mode. So it's the second icon. So we're going to click this guy, and we're going to do start course recording. Now, what I have found, and other guys talk about this as well, is that you want to have at least no less than a minimum of 3 waypoints established before you make any turns. And we're just going to kind of go out between these trees here. If you start your recording and you immediately put a turn in, right or left or whatever, it's most likely you may have some problems. Okay, so get about 3 or 4 cookies laid down, if you will, breadcrumbs. That's those little orange dots, and then that way you can start your move. So we're basically just recording a course from the field, or from the side of the edge of the field, to our grain silo. Because all we want to do with this is we want this guy to basically empty the combine, and once he's full, and he's at 70% now, so once he's full, he will automatically drive to the grain silo, and I'm kind of all over the place here in my road. I'm sitting a little bit too far away from my pedals. But anyway, I'm sort of sitting awkwardly in my seat, so I need to fix that. But anyway, so you just basically record this course, and you don't have to, you don't have to dump, you don't have to have anything in your trailer to do this. You just drive through, and course play will auto-magically detect that you have driven across either a sell point or a unloading point, and course play will slow the vehicle down and empty the contents fully, and then proceed. And then he will, course play will drive us back here following this route, and we get back on the highway. I've got traffic, remember, I've got traffic turned off for this map, just because with course play crossing the highway and everything, it was causing some problems. And then we will just come back into the field like this, and just come back into our field like this, and we will come up, and I like to have a little bit of distance between the stop point and the end point, and you stop it. And then of course, if this is just a one-time course creation, you can just leave it at that. You don't have to save it, but if you want to save it, you click on the save button, and I sort of have a naming convention for mine, so it's like F22 grain to silo, and then you save it, and then you'll see it in your list here, and you can create subfolders if you want to, so you can organize things by field. We're just going to go in, we're going to have four-wheel drive as active. That just kind of helps them a little bit. We're connected to that combine, which is 90 meters away, and we don't need to make any of these other changes. I found that just the default stuff is good to go, and we're going to drive the course at the first waypoint. At the first waypoint, as my voice breaks up, and sometimes the AI will go ahead and run the entire course. I usually let it happen, so what's going to happen is Billy Bob's going to go to the grain silo, and he will empty, and then he will come back and he'll be empty whenever he gets back to us, and that's just what he's going to do. So that's fun stuff. So we're coming up on our hour, and you know me, I like to try to keep things down under an hour for you guys for this particular series. You know, my old streams map, those episodes are about 30 minutes, just because it's there's smaller fields and it's a much smaller operation, and I'm not real sure, I'm not sure how long I'm going to run that map. I'm going to run it for a little while longer, a few more episodes at least. I will go ahead and tell you that I am sort of setting Chellington up, and when I say setting Chellington up, I mean I'm sort of going through and establishing the type of equipment that I like to use on my maps. So I don't replace all of the equipment that the mod designer or the map designer included, but I do replace some of it, just because there's things that I like to use that generally they don't position on the map for us. And we'll go ahead and probably start with some animals, and we also will do seasonal farming again, because I feel that, and I think that's maybe I made a mistake with old streams. I went with old streams sort of to supplement Goldcrest Valley, add a little bit of variety to my channel, but I chose not to go with seasonal farming, and I'm missing it. I'm missing the fact that as far as my mission in life, as far as that map is concerned, is that I have no clue what season it is. So we're just going to kind of harvest a field and plow it if it needs to be plowed, cultivate it, fertilize it, replant it. 2-3 days later, we'll harvest it, and it'll just kind of rinse and repeat like that. And I think that the seasonal farming, where we know that it's early autumn, we've got basically 2 game days of early autumn, so we've got a lot to do. We've got to get all that grass mowed and done, put up, get the hay put up and everything, and so it gives us an idea. It gives us sort of a mission in life, if you will. So when I do start Chellington, now I will just say, and I'll probably repeat all this again once I get started with Chellington, is that I never played Chellington in Farm Sim 15. So I know a lot of my YouTube friends who may or may not. I'm really not sure who's planning to do Chellington, but I know that a lot of folks will do Chellington, just because it's sort of the best map that will be available for Farm Sim 17, that has undergone the level of testing and trials and tribulations and everything, because Oxygen David, who is the designer of Chellington for 17 as well as 15, had to undergo quite a bit of had to put in a lot of testing effort and everything, because Giants obviously had to certify that this thing was working correctly before they would put it up on ModHub. And so, you know, I sort of followed the progress through watching Daggerwin was doing Chellington videos, but I don't think he was involved with the testing as much as Landy Kid was. Landy Kid did an excellent job, I thought, with Landy Kid did an excellent job, I thought, with his videos of Chellington, as well as, you know, obviously he was feeding back information back to Oxygen David regarding things that he found, issues and opportunities and things like that. And then I was sort of following the discussion over at the FSUK website forums, and, you know, knew that Giants sort of kicked it back because of some translation issues with language, and that's a good thing. I mean, you know, obviously I believe Oxygen David is from England, from Great Britain, and you know, I think that probably when he released Chellington for Farming Sim 15, you know, he probably just released it in English only. And, you know, that's what we see. That's what we saw with Farm Sim 15 a lot of times, was a lot of these maps that were coming out, you know, they didn't, some of this stuff didn't have English translations, you know, and some of them did, some of them didn't. But that was one of the requirements that Giants, that they place on, where's he going? That's one of the requirements that they place on these maps before they could be considered to go into the ModHub, is that they must, for one, they can't be cross-posted anywhere else, so they've got to basically have some exclusivity to the ModHub, and then also they've got to meet all this all these rigorous standards. And that's only a benefit to us, the gamer, because you guys know, if you watch those episodes I did on what was it, North Brabant, and also on what was the other, British style map or whatever, you know the frustrations that I had, because these maps came out, and I don't want to speak negatively of the mod author for those maps, and it was the same. It's Mike Modding, and I know that North Brabant was a very successful, very popular map in Farm Sim 15, and I don't know, just, you know, if he converted it over to 17 and just decided that, okay, you know, he obviously, I would assume that he and maybe his team tested it for a little bit, but then they threw it out there in version 1. I grabbed it, downloaded it, installed it, started playing it, and then started running into these problems. So I believe that North Brabant has been, those issues have been fixed that I ran into with the animal cleanliness stuff. So if you're interested in North Brabant for Farm Sim 17, you can certainly get it from his YouTube page and other sites as well. But yeah, so Chellington has gone through all the motions, and while it may have some opportunities, those are probably more in Giants Court than they are in Oxygen David's court. But, you know, again, sort of your mileage may vary, sort of thing. But I think that, yeah, so with me, you can expect to see Chellington 17 gameplay very soon. And what it will replace, I don't know. You know, there's some fields that are pretty good size on Chellington that sort of, I think, possibly rival field size here on Goldcrest Valley. And I think there's some smaller fields, so it's possible that you know, I can sort of do longer episodes and then maybe not so long episodes on that particular map. I don't know if maybe which one, I don't know which one I would consider dropping, whether it would be Old Streams or maybe Goldcrest Valley. Maybe since I'm doing, and he's stuck again, isn't he? Maybe since I'm doing, maybe since I'm gonna do seasonal farming on Challengton, maybe it would replace this map. Of course, that would give me, you know, I would be farming on two, you know, European style maps. Obviously, Challengton is set on it's British farming, and obviously Old Streams is set in Europe, in France. So I don't know. Decisions, right? The map that I am still most excited about that's coming to 17, but it's not going to be coming to 17 in, you know, certainly anytime soon. We won't see it. We won't see it certainly before the end of the year, and it might even be, you know, late winter or even early spring before we see it on 17, and that is Coldborough Park Farm. Coldborough Park Farm is special to me. I think every gamer has their maps that are special and unique to them. For me, let me just shut this off. For me, Coldborough Park Farm is my special map. As I teleport over here to help this guy out. Stop him. Okay, I gotta get my camera up where I can see what is going on. Because he has wrapped himself around that pole in a way that... Alright, so we will say nearest waypoint, and maybe he will be able to drive behind the combine, and it looks like he will. So let's get over here and get pipe out and get ready for him. For me, it is Coldborough Park Farm. That's my special map, okay? And I know we're getting close to an hour, and we're probably going to go a minute or two over. But that is my special map. That was the map that changed Farm Sim for me. That was the map that changed Farm Sim 15 for me, and it was the map that I started enjoying British style maps and maps with irregular shaped fields. I had problems. I had tried a couple of either British or European style maps, or they may have even been American style maps with odd shaped fields, and I had problems. I got frustrated with you know, courseplay wrapping tractors and tippers around trees, and the combine having issues and what have you. But it really changed things for me. Now, I think, you know, I don't know. I still think that it's possible. This guy is just, I don't know why he's still following me. It may be that without, you know, auto combine, and auto combine obviously played a very big part in sort of my enjoyment factor with Coldborough Park Farm, and it will be interesting to see, you know, how with sort of playing a map like that. And of course I'll probably realize it when I start doing maybe a little more harvesting on Old Streams, and certainly as we play more once we get started with Challengton. But we'll see. We'll just see how it goes. But that's the map. Yeah, well, Coldborough Park Farm, to make this long story short, and to wrap this episode up, Coldborough Park Farm for me is my, we're going to request the driver, then we're going to send the driver home, and hopefully he can make his way back home. But yeah, Coldborough Park Farm for me is that special map. It's that map that I am very much looking forward to seeing what has changed, how it's changed for 17 versus 15, and for me, it's just I'm really excited to see that coming for 17. But again, there's no ETA. It's, you know, Bullet Bill has just basically, I think, started the process. But this was a request from Giants themselves to bring Coldborough Park Farm to the Mod Hub for both PC and console. So you guys that may have seen videos on Coldborough Park Farm, you console gamers, someday, again, no ETA, but someday you should have that available to you on console, and that will be cool, right? All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. I'm going to do some stuff off camera. I need to take care of those animals because their cleanliness is downright low, and even though their productivity is still relatively high, that won't last very long if I ignore that. And so we're going to pull in here. We've done some good soybean harvesting, and so we will do some things off camera. I may actually also mow that field up there off camera, or I don't know, maybe I'll record that, not sure. We'll see when we get there. And but yeah, so thanks for watching, and I look forward to and you can see that with that course, he'll just come right up here and he will reach the tip trigger and he'll empty. But yeah, so I appreciate you watching. Please like, please follow and subscribe and all that good stuff. Comment, ask questions if you have questions. And thank you all for watching. I do appreciate it. I really, really do. And until next time, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.